Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here, and I'm on the FTOG All the Mods 4 server, a little bit north of my base, and I was really excited to see that in the latest update to the mod pack, that it includes hammers. I've got an ore crushing hammer from Engineer's Tools in my hand, because having a hammer, if you rename it, and then you throw it away, along with sufficient usage fees to the Fairies Union, Local 326, stuff can happen. Now, this one's called Waterworks, and I've already paid my fees, so let's give it a toss. Oh, and there's the montage music. Let's see what the fairies are doing. I think the fairies did a pretty good job here. Yeah, I'm not going to complain. It's only got 2 masts, whereas, 3 masts was very, very common. But, hey, but this is not bad at all. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. So we've got this area here. Looks like we've got an area for a wheel. Access to the mast. Let's go back up. Yep, here's the captain's cabin. Yep, definitely looks like well laid out with all sorts of stuff in here. Yep, I did see that. So access down below, there's the foremast. Looks like we got some, I don't know if these are life raft or just, small little boats to be used. Let's go down. Okay, yeah, crew's quarters down here, a little bit of storage. And yes, you got to have a galley so that you can have some food, which is always very handy. And it's this way. And yep, a lower level where we've got plenty of storage for, it's a ship, it's moving stuff. So yes, storage looks like a really good idea. I like this. I like it a lot. All right, now, one of the things you may not realize is that in addition to being a duck farmer, I am also master of all things nautical. So what's the difference here between a ship and a boat? Well, about 3 points. If you're playing Scrabble, go with ship because it's got the H and the P, which are higher value letters. But it's really, it's a lot of people argue what the difference is. But it's a question of size, with ships being bigger than boats. Ships operate on, oceans and large bodies of waters, where, boats are more smaller streams. This is a ship, although it's all landlocked. It's also, a question of the crew. This would require a lot of people to run this, a bunch of stuff like that. So what you do is you find your naval friend who served on a submarine and ask him what it felt like to serve on a ship under the water. and see what he does. So it's a ship. It carries boats, which is one of the things. It's bigger, more crew, can sail the ocean, even though it's landlocked here. So what am I going to use? I'm going to call it a ship and a boat because I'm not all that naval. But and what are people going to do? The Navy type's going to hunt me down? Nope. We're social distancing right now, so you can't do that. All right, so parts of the ship. There's the forepart of the ship. What is it called? A, front, B, pointy bit, or C, the bow?
Wrong!
Okay. Bow. It's spelt the same, but it's the bow. It comes from the Dutch or the Norse word for shoulder, which I'm not even gonna try to pronounce, and it has the same origin as bow in English, which also means shoulder, and also that part of the branch. Okay, so the aft section of the ship is the A, the stern, the B, the sternum, C, clavicle. Well, of course, it's the stern. And it's probably from the Norse word for the steering side of the boat. Ship. Because you steer from the back. And typically, you would steer from the right side, because you'd have this big, long oar coming down here that you would steer from. Now, this is a center steering with a center a till, but that's much older type of ship. Anyway, so talking about right and left, the naval term for the right side of the ship. Well, A, right, because duh. B, larboard. C, starboard. Well, of course, it's C, starboard, because the navigator would look at the stars from the right side of the boat.
Thanks for playing.
Okay, it's one of those old English words, starboard, meaning the side of the ship you steer from. And I mentioned that there would be a big long oar from this side of the ship. Okay, this type of boat is way too big for the oar to be used by a guy to steer the ship. We're talking about smaller, much older vessels. But that was the steering side, because the guy would be over on this side of the boat. That's the starboard side of the boat. Okay, so then what's the left side of the boat? A, left, B, larboard, C, port. Well, you're in luck because both larboard and port are correct. Larboard comes from the Middle English word larboard, because cargo was laden aboard on the left side while at port. And does that mean this one here is completely wrong? Yes. You don't dock your ship on the starboard side, you dock it on the port side. Hence, you're at port, it's on the port side. But I didn't, because the Fairies, what do they know about nautical stuff? I just said, make me a boat, and this is what I got. Anyway, both larboard and port were correct. Larboard is the older term, but because larboard and starboard, they sound very similar, it got changed in the middle of the 19th century, and because it's confusing. You got the captain back here shouting, orders in the middle of a naval movie with loud soundtrack. It's really easy to mistake those two. So port came up afterwards, and port because that's the side you would dock. That's the way it works. This ship here is fairly simple. It's also fairly small, but it's a fairly simple one. It just has the two decks below the water, well, below the main top deck, and it has just a single aft structure, whereas typically your vessel this side and larger would have multiple structures. There'd be a fore structure, and this would be called the forecastle, because they actually would be, in the medieval times, they actually would put archers on top of these fore and aft structures, and they had crenellations and all the rest that looked very castle-like, and they would shoot down with their arrows and bows at the other ship. Well, you don't really need much of that in the more modern, as you go from the Middle Ages into the more Renaissance time. The fore structure here, this forecastle, or sometimes pronounced forecastle, almost always pronounced forecastle, that you didn't need that tall structure because it made the ship harder to navigate. And so what you would often do is have a much reduced structure here. And you kind of get that with this little upper piece here, but not all that much. Anyway, so that's the forecastle, and quite often the sailors, the common sailors, would sleep in the area before the mast in that area. Not much room for that. They're down there. The aft structure quite often would have 2 levels, sometimes more, but there would be a section here, which this one doesn't, which would be called the quarterdeck, and that's where the captain would be. The helmsman with the ship's wheel would be on the quarterdeck, and a lot of the official ship's business would go there. And then behind it and above was the area called the poop. So why the poop? Well, A, it's something French. B, it's where the latrines would be. And C, the word origin is lost to history. Well, the actual truth, it's from the French, the la poupe, which means stern, because it's the topmost deck on the stern. So, is that enough ship knowledge for you? I don't know. I love history. I love all sorts of things and learning words and all that fun stuff. And I like how this has 2 crow's nests up here, although typically you wouldn't call them all crows. Yeah, we'll stop with that. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. The ship design is from Madness 64's City of Kargath, and it is available for download. I downloaded it and grabbed several different ships and said, I like this one. And then I told the Fairies, change a lot of the oak logs to sideways instead of all vertical, because you can see over here a lot of this is all vertical. Originally, the original plans had everything vertical, and I like some horizontal stripes because it looks sleeker, looks faster if it's pointing out. So that's just a little design change. I played with this in creative and see if would I prefer this in dark oak and spruce. It was just a little bit too dark, so I'm glad the Fairies went with this. So, and then a little nice jaunty pennants here at the top to flying in the breeze, which is cool. And for the very observant, I reversed that because obviously the breeze has got to be coming in from the stern of the ship, otherwise it can't move. So the flag's got to be flying that direction. And so I reversed that because you can't have flags going, that's just wrong. All right, let's talk about the Gaia Guardian and real cheater type. I made some changes here, and for some reason I've got really bad ping to the server. And I don't know why. The internet connection for me is fantastic, so it's got to be something on the server side. Anyway, I went ahead and changed a few things here. I put little mana pools with just a little bit of mana on the top. I put the floating hopper huck underneath, and then chests underneath there that you can still access. And this way, regardless of whatever was dropped, would get sucked up really fast, because let's grab my smart wrench. I was talking about doing something here to change the way the mobs that get added by the Gaia Guardian are affected, and that's what I did. I made these blue shields and so much wool because each one of these took so many pieces of wool. Fortunately, I had the resources. It took a while, but I got them there, and I got sick and tired, so I actually didn't do it all the way around the edge because it didn't matter. Anyway, these are set. Man, that's so slow. Items pass through, so it's invisible to that, and hostiles take damage. And that's the way I've got it configured, and they also have it set up to be invisible. And when it finally realizes, there we go. And then, there we go. It's just really strange. One of the things that's really weird about this, and I had to watch out for, is arrows hitting. See, if I shoot up high, the arrow once the server realizes I've shot, shoot straight out. But if I aim lower, I'm aiming at the hopper hawk over there. As soon as it hits this top layer arcing down, it just hits the ground right away. And sometimes it actually goes under the ground. There we go. There should be... There's... sometimes you can see what looks like a little flaming action underneath. There we go. We can see it right there. Really weird. Really weird. And the items that the mobs would drop would look like this, and they would skitter around, so that's why I put the hopper hawks in place. Anyway, let's put this away. Killed the Gaia Guardian a bunch of times, and I did it with the Gaia Guardian 2. So let's open up this thing slowly, and dropped all sorts of runes and various whatsits and things. Okay, I like the look of that. That looks really cool. Before we go this, one of the things I noticed was this got deepened over here, and they didn't go any further because we got this scrubland sort of thing in the water. It just kind of peters out. But it's nice having a much deeper area. So if I need to grow some kelp, which is technically a saltwater sort of thing, and this is all fresh water, I do want to go ahead and I can put down some kelp and grow some more. But hi there, fishies. So I like what they did. They did a pretty good job of terraforming this. Anyway, let's go ahead and roll these dice and see what we get. Right click. I got the transforms into the Lost Time Ring of Odin. All right, let's roll this one. Ooh, this will give me food, so I can eat that. And that I think that costs mana to eat. Actually, can I shift that? Yeah. All right. Let's roll this one. Ooh, the swords. Key of the King's Law. Where we got some stuff. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, come on, server. You should be doing better than that. Let's see if I can... You hold back. Oh, there we go. It should shoot out all sorts of... There. Okay, it's really laggy. Let's see if I can find me a mob that is on the surface. Hey, you look like a mob here on the surface. All right. Oh, and you're a mob down below. Hey, would you like to die? Would you guys like to die? Stop shooting me. There we go. Really not seeing the particle effects here. But it should shoot what looks like a whole bunch of swords down there. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we're missing some particle effects, which is kind of a shame. Oh, look at all those guys. There we go. You can kind of see the particle effects. So this is a pretty cool weapon of mass destruction. If the server is working for me, like I said, I don't know if it's my network or the server or what that's doing this. Anyway, let's go take a look at this dice of fate. This is, oh, come on, Ring of Thor. Okay, there's 3 rings, and I think there's only 6 items. There's the Ring of Loki. And right click this one. Oh, Eye of the Flugel. And that didn't work. And this may give me nothing. Yep. Okay, so there's only 6 items. And I figured just for the heck I would kill the Gaia Guardian 2 an additional time. One of the times I killed him, he didn't drop anything, which I thought was really obnoxious of him. One of these, I think I can combine these. I thought these could be combined. There we go. When worn as ring, that guy. Let's turn on my... Thank you. Oh, will you not? Seriously? Okay, we'll take off the Band of Aura, and we'll put on the Ring of Odin. So you're supposed to give me 20 extra health. There we go. Okay, slowly it's giving me my health. Alrighty, so the server is deciding to be extremely slow right now. And I don't think it's the server, I think it's my connection. Don't know why. Anyway, that should, I think, give me an entire new bar of, yeah, so now I've got yellow hearts, green moons, and blue clovers, and all those other weird stars things. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sleep the night away and probably reboot just to make sure that there's nothing wrong with my side of this connection. I'm not sure what's up with my network. I've got good ping out. I've got great download and upload speeds. The server itself is doing grand. It's 20 TPS. It's just kicking along just swimmingly, but I still have one bar, and block lag is a thing. Let me show you a few stuff here. So I was going to do some more buildy things because I found this. Great comment of, why don't I make it a little bit easier to find these mega torches? And well, I found some slate, and I like that little post. It's pretty easy to spot now. Let's come over here. Some things that I got another one over here because this was a big area of mobs like crazy. And I found some of these things. These are trees here from Druidcraft, and they're constantly spitting out these little fruits. Let's see, are there any on the ground? Right now, no. But you can see we've got tons of these, and if I right-click this, with the lag, it's constantly, I've picked up, a couple dozen as I go around. You can see I scattered them about my base. I also have several different trees scattered around for fun. Anyway, these, I think they're pretty much just food. Yeah, you can eat them by themselves, or you can eat them in the apple elderberry crumble, which I'll make one. But anyway, that's that. The slate. Let's look down here. Yep, there's the one piece of. Oh, did I put? I put something on. I mean, the fairies put. Let's. Whoops. R. Not that R. R. There we go. Let's grab my shears. Okay. Wait for it. This is the part where you give me those things back. Oh well. Let's break this. As I was seeing what the fairies were doing, I came across this ravine down here. And if we take a look at the map, I went all... Man, that's zooming is having issues. I went up and down and around all over this place looking... And why are you not changing? Because that's all client stuff. I went bananas going through here, lighting things up, and I found several of these areas of slate. And I thought that was really cool. And over on this other side, oh, come on, these stalactites and stalagmites are driving me crazy. Over here, there's a, you can see we got a mine shaft going on, which I've lit up a bunch of that. Does it show it? It doesn't show the mine shaft. Why aren't you not showing them? Oh, here we go. So did a huge amount of exploring. It's tons of this area that I haven't done yet. Anyway, found an area that had a huge amount of the slate and dug that up. And let's get out of here. But I decided not to... my shears did not shear this. They normally do. Maybe it's just the Botania shears don't do it. Anyway, I wanted to sit there and build something. I like building towers, and I was thinking of building something with slate, but right now we've got too many issues, and I think it's me. The server's doing fine. My network's fine. I think it's, again, there's some connection between me and the server. This happened once before. Torgal couldn't figure it out. He was getting nothing wrong with it. I don't know what was the issue there. Let's show off a few things. This is a mossy waystone that found in the mining dimension, and I went ahead and renamed it. If you just mouse over here, you can change the name. Let's make another one for fun. So Maybe not. Let's make a waystone, because this is part of the waystone mod, and so I need one of these warp stones. Oh, cool. I've got all the purple I need. And let's just make one of these. I need another stone brick. Okay, let's make another stone brick. I've got lots of stone. There we go. Let's make one of these. Clear. And let's head up and to my tower at the first base. And let's put this down here someplace. I kind of think of this area over here as the front. So let's go ahead and put it like right here. And you just right click it. And it's got some weird names that it puts in there by default. So if I re-click it again, I can change it to Grok's old base. So let's save that. So now you can see the two that I know about, and it takes a level of XP. Now, is that going to take me from 44 to 43? I don't know. Yep, that's exactly what it's going to do. And if I come back here, right-click this one. Now, so I'm looking at the green bar. Yeah, it's taking an entire level, whereas if you are doing some of the other things won't take that much. It's different. Like if I repair something by shift clicking this, it actually takes less. All right, other stuff that I did. Let's come over here. The mining world got reset. Oh, right. I have to right click this. The mining world got reset. It's nice and rainy. And so I went in here and reset up. I grabbed all my stuff out of here and I re-grabbed it, and I did a 3x3 chunk mining just for fun. And this is the new stuff right here. What are these items? The uranite, and there's poor, regular, and dense. And I haven't done anything with that because that's for the Power mod. And just tons and tons of resources here. Just let it go like gangbusters, and everything other than the grass, I just voided the dirt and the rest of that stuff. Cobble and all, I don't need those bits. But got plenty of resources here for processing later. But this was the main thing I wanted to look at because I'm curious about getting into that mod. But right now, building is not really a thing. I do need to reset up my mob farm down here because that works really well for getting ender pearls and some other resources, but not right now. I've got network issues. I think it's everybody is at home, everybody's streaming stuff, everybody's having fun on the internet because they can't go out and do stuff. What can you do? Anyway, this is Grok the DuckFarmer getting wet here at the FTOG All the Mods 4 server, getting a bunch of things done, and I got a boat. It's a really cool boat, and many thanks to the Fairies for making it happen. Yay! Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Nope. Incorrect, sir. Oh, not even a little bit. Bzz.